What's going on, crypto people? Life is good. Ripple. Are they coming to the rescue? Who knows? Sounds like it. Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is a digital asset space. What's good? What is good, family? Ripple, is Ripple coming to the rescue? You know, I think I have a sneaking suspicion that I know what Ripple is. One or two of the things that I believe Ripple is intending to do. Been doing my thing with the Twitter AMAs and trying to get on the Celsius bankruptcy Zoom calls, Telegram groups. Some interesting stuff coming from the loans community, coming from the loan assets that I believe this is what Ripple is really trying to do. Face Stamper, we'll get into it. What's going on, Face Stamper? Great to see you. 416 Crypto is in the building. What's up, my friend? Danny Lowe, the Fouls are in the building. Whoa, it's going to be a great stream today. Martin 958, Ripple taking over Celsius? I don't think so. I think they're going to be buying assets. And we'll get into that, but I think they're going to be buying assets. And I think the assets that they're going to be looking into, we're going to cover that. There's three of them, three different ones that I think they're going to look into. Very, very interesting. We'll get into that. We're certainly going to get into the market because the market is doing what the market does. Yeah, interesting stuff going on right now with BTC. I'm not even going, I mean, David Schwartz and Vitalik Buterin getting into it on crypto Twitter. I mean, come on. One's an adult and the other one, not so much. I mean, what do you expect to come from a young person like that? I mean, like, what do you expect to come out of his mouth? I mean, you saw him on stage. You saw him dancing on stage. I mean, what else do you expect to come out of that dude's mouth? So, I mean, brilliant mind when it comes to coding, but what else do you expect to come out of the dude's mind? Mouth. I mean, right? So, what's going on, RC? Good to see you. Market, again, doing what the market does. We'll go over that. I got some footage, some audio from a Twitter Spaces, and one of the people there was talking about the evaluation of the loans at Ripple, right? And so a lot of the attorneys, law firms that I've been listening to, speaking with, feel as though the whole, in reference to Celsius Network, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We always like to have just as many likes as we have viewers in the streams. But the whole Celsius is massive. Listen, it's massive. It's close to $3 billion. So someone coming in and kind of taking over the business doesn't look great. Someone coming in not coming in, but the courts allowing Celsius to reorganize in a way with Alex Mashinsky at the helm, not likely, just not likely. The regulators, by way of banking regulators, are just, in my humble opinion, are just not going to let that happen. So this whole standalone thing that Celsius is purporting that they're going to try to do is another standalone business only to accredited investors, maybe, but not with Alex Mashinsky at the helm. Like, that's over. And so some reorganization where they, quote unquote, put the accredited investors this model for accredited investors, it's just not likely. Not likely at all. What's most likely is Celsius running out of cash, and its assets being bought up. If a secured creditor comes into the mix, now Ripple has filed a motion to enter or filed paperwork to enter into this bankruptcy, but it's to buy stuff, and it ain't crypto. It's not crypto. It might be second or third crypto, but I believe it's the loans, and I believe it's the mining rigs businesses. The crypto assets, if they can get those on the cheap, sure. But I think it's and the most important one, I should say, the most important asset would be, the 1 million customers, right? But there is a segment or subsegment of that 1 million customers, which is 23,000 retail customers. In other words, who have loans, 23,000 loan customers, 23,000. And the loan customers make up a different valuation than the earn and or custody accounts customers, right? So it's really 3 different customers in this case. And we're going to get into that. It's custodies, the earn, and the loan. We're going to get into that in a little bit. And I think it's really, really important to understand. So out of the million, it's really 3 segments of those customers. The people who have their crypto and earn, there are people who have their crypto in custody, and there are the loan customers. One of those groups has a current numbers of roughly 400 million in valuation, 400 million. And I think it's a significant number, and we're going to pay attention. We'll go over that as well. Good to see you guys in the stream. It's been a while since I've been able to do a live stream, but I think Ripple's gonna has an opportunity to come to the rescue, and certainly they got to stay business focused, right? Because they got shareholders. So, what's the valuable assets? What are the real, true value assets? Number one is the customers, but what segment of those customers? I think is important. And then you can talk about mining rigs, and then you can talk about crypto, right? So we'll get into that. And let's go with the market, man, because this market is just crazy right now. Let me refresh this, but Bitcoin's at $21,000. What in the wide world? What happened? What freaking happened? Oh, by the way, I think I figured out the whole issue with the laptop slant internet was a combination of the internet. One day it's great, it's over 400, it's zooming along. And other days it's at 200 or less, it's not zooming along. But the other issue was just the operating system on the computer. I was at 85 to 95% maxed memory and storage, so that was not great. So the computer couldn't operate the way we thought it would. Rodwell, no break. What's going on, my guy? Good to see you. Appreciate you checking in. So, but anyway, I think I solved that. So I got rid of it, and I emptied the bin out, and so I think I took care of that in terms of the computer. What you gonna do with Wi-Fi? Ain't much you can do. It's just not much you can do with Wi-Fi. Like as far as I know, it's just not a lot of stuff that you can do. Let's go with this market. Am I sharing my screen? I am not sharing my screen. Let's go over here. Let's share the screen and go over this freaking market. What in the world? I know people are what they think this might be interested in. Number one is going to be the customers, the customer numbers. That is without question. You can't deny that or argue that. It's got to be the customers without question. So look, the total cryptocurrency market cap is just not great. 1.07, Danny Lowe, 1.07 on a trillion in the market cap, right? So the Bitcoin dominance, 38.2%. It's good to see that that is still going down. I think that's very interesting to note. Bitcoin is at $21,306. Again, Ethereum is at $1,630. Again, I just made a couple of swing trades today. I'm excited about that. What else we got? XRP is at 34 cents. It's down 10% on the 7-day. Again, right? There's just blood in the streets. Shout out to the swing traders if you're out there becoming on that journey of becoming the new 1%. Look at Avalanche down 22%. Yeah, I re-entered there. I'm going to make some money on that one. Right? Get those distressed things on the cheap when you can. Just to set a small portfolio to do my swing trading, share that journey with you guys. Excited about that. But look at all the double figure reds on the 7-day. Right? Lots of them. Absolutely lots of them for sure. Right? So that's the market, man. I mean, the market is just doing what the freaking market does. I'm going to go over something because I do think it's important. I know a lot of people in the community are part of Celsius, has the assets on there, got the assets like Danny Lowe, can't get access to those assets. The bankruptcy hearings have been interesting, to say the least. The law firm for Celsius is, in my opinion, it's just playing games. The UCC, mental games. The UCC, which is the unsecured creditors committee that's supposed to be representing the depositors. By the way, that committee put together, it's funded by the state. So in terms of them going out and getting attorneys and all of that or whatever, yeah. So that law firm that's representing the UCC, if you will, lawyers, they're not trying not to get paid. So any case, that's one thing. But in any case, this whole thing with Ripple, I think, is really, really, really fascinating to see what possibly can be done there. Let me go over here. Let me stop this share. It's fascinating to me to see what can Ripple do. What are they looking to do? Like, what's the deal? What's going on, Kyle T. Moore? Good to see you. Kyle says, good afternoon, Steve. It's been a minute. Enjoy your weekend. Yes, sir, it has, bro. Good to see you. Enjoy yours as well. Oh, Josh. So I had all my long holds on Celsius and the earn. Is there a snowball's chance in heck of me getting any of it back? Yeah, there is a snowball's chance of it. Of that happening. Earn is going to be the most difficult one, in my opinion. Custody has and loans have a greater shot of being made more whole, I believe. Number one, because the custody accounts have kind of more of a legal right that is agreed upon between the UCC, between Celsius Network and the law firm that represents them, and most importantly, the trustee and the judge, the Honorable Judge Glenn Martin. So in the court hearings, he was really, really on the fact of moving in a manner to get those people in custody, their crypto. He just believed that it just made absolute sense. So I'm going to put a link, Mr. Fouts, to a few Telegram groups that you may want to join that have what they call ad hoc groups who have kind of pooled their money together and hired their own individual attorneys to represent them in this lawsuit. So the UCC, quote unquote, represents everybody, loans, earned, custody, quote unquote. The ad hoc groups have been formed in custody. Loans is looking to do it. Earned, for what I understand, has not done anything to kind of represent themselves, and are kind of just trusting on the UCC to look out for them. But to me, that's the biggest battle. That to me is the biggest battle. Now, there looks to be another group forming. The Telegram group has formed that is going to do the same thing that custody did in terms of forming an ad hoc, pulling money together to get a law firm to represent them. It's a little tricky and dicey, but there is a group. I'll make sure I get that link to you as well, bro. But so the big rub right now is that the non-accredited U.S. investors were, if you will, manipulated into staying in the earn account when it is clear that the earn and custody accounts, custody was for non-accredited and earn was going to be only for accredited. And so the scuttle on the street is that Celsius knew this, that they set these accounts up to try to appease regulators from 4 to 5 states that had submitted cease and desist. And this is a way to kind of help Celsius put this together to help with kind of start stemming off these pushes from these regulators to, if you will, shut down Celsius from operating at all. So, but the earn accounts, that essentially came down to accredited and non-accredited. And the non-accredited essentially should have been off of the platform because all the regulators are saying that Celsius is operating and was operating an unregistered securities business. And so US non-accredited should not have been on the platform. And what Celsius did is state that, once this earn and custody program is activated, if it's activated April 1st, on April 2nd, the only people who can operate in Celsius and earn is accredited, right? So they said that part, but the other part that they said, which every single law firm is saying was egregious, misleading, dishonest at best, is that they told people that if you want to continue to earn, you can just leave your stuff and earn. And they didn't reference accredited or non-accredited. They just said, if you want to continue to earn, you can keep it and earn, and you'll be grandfathered in to earn. And the challenge with that grandfathered in statement is they did not disclose that earn account was specifically going to be structured and catered to accredited investors. And when looked at it in court, because they knew about the hold, they knew that a bankruptcy was imminent. And if they would have said non-accredited US investors need to take their stuff out of earn and into custody, it would have been the equivalent of another bank run. And they already had a bank run, right? They already had the bank run, a couple billion, close to $2.5 billion, exited the platform in 3 weeks, right? So that's a fact. That happened. And so now you could say it happened because of FUD. You can say that. You could say it happened because of the sell, these hedge funds, once they see a stressed company, they attack it. The stressed company could be $100 million in the hole. It could be $500 million in the hole. But once it is exposed that there's a hole, short sellers go after these companies to make money. And the way that they make money is bankrupting the company. So you could say it was the FUD, you could say and it was the short sellers, but ultimately there was a hole, whatever number you want to put at that hole, that exposed Celsius. and people took advantage of the whole. But that is the market, right? I hate the whole short selling thing. I hate that that businesses, hedge funds, VCs can make money on destroying a company. I hate it, but it happens. I hate it, but it happens. And the challenge that Celsius has going forward is that they were telling people that everything was okay, that they had, $2 billion in assets. All of these were very misleading and inaccurate statements. And then the other part, so you got the inaccurate and misleading statements, right? You got that, and then you have the lack of disclosures are going to be the things that all the state regulators and who else, SEC most likely is going to run Alex Mashinsky out of the business and out of the company because the lack of disclosures, the lack of the misleading statements is just going to be the end all be all. And there's just so much videotape and documented evidence of the misleading in a way that law firms are saying is egregious. The SEC is just going to run with that. And just never forget this. I mean, they may be just quiet now, but never forget that hashtag Gary Gensler is doing the bidding of banking regulators, period. And the biggest one, besides Ripple, the company, probably the biggest threat to banks and the banking regulators was Celsius. Probably 1 and 2, if you just think about it. Ripple, right? Total disruptor. Celsius Network, probably number 2. And so I will not be surprised if when the SEC comes in and does their thing, or if they come in and do their thing, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I wouldn't be shocked at all. And I just think that they're just trying to put their arguments and put everything together. And it's just a matter of time, because there was 5 states that did regulators who did the cease and desist. It's just a matter of time before the SEC comes in here. They've been wanting to do it for a while, in my opinion. And the misleading was after the 90-day investigation between the SEC and Celsius. Celsius didn't come clean about what the SEC had done, had told them to do, about the whole, none of that. It didn't do it. And in the end, the SEC and other state regulators had accused Celsius of running an unsecured securities business and possibly an unlicensed banking business. Bottom line. So that's kind of where we are. What's going on, GDLT? Good to see you. I'm going to go over these, what I believe Ripple is looking to do, GDLT, in this Celsius case. I really do believe I'm spot on. I really do believe I'm correct on this one. Crypto Surfer says, I just want my Spark token, right? Like the coins report came out, Crypto Surfer, they don't have the crypto. They don't have it. I don't know if the team at Celsius is going to, they still got over 500 people working there. So I don't know where they are in communications with Hugo and the team there. I just don't know if, the Spark distribution is the top and forefront of their brain. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, how they're going to do that. I really, really don't. It's just a matter of some wallets, right? Everything's there. It's just a matter of wallets and Spark token of the wallets on Celsius being sent back to Hugo. It really is that simple. But, what did they do with the Spark token? I mean, it's IOU value only. So what did Celsius do with those Spark tokens? Don't know. But my understanding is the Spark token is IOU value only in terms of trading. So 416 crypto. Yeah, you're right about that. 500 people are apparently making a very generous salary. 1000% correct on that. And it's, you know, Alex ran a campaign on depositors make the business, right? He said he made the argument over and over and over again about how, you know, if banks wouldn't exist if it wasn't for depositors, and how we treat our depositors best, and we look out for account holders and all that. But ultimately, he's looking out for his employees and himself, and the depositors are not a top priority. Because the fees, the money that they're spending every month to pay 500 people and all this other kind of stuff, not great. I mean, it's a massive amount of money that they're going through. And it's tens of millions of dollars every month. Why? You don't have a business. Why do you have 500 employees? There isn't a business. You're not paying rewards. You're not doing loans. No new loans, no new deposits. That's your business. Why do you have 500 employees? So what's going on, Cookie Mont? Good to see you, bro. Hey, see, what does your title exactly mean? Well, Ripple, I don't know if you noticed or not, Coach Alex, Ripple Labs has filed to enter the Celsius network bankruptcy. Yeah, so they're, you know, originally it was, you know, looking to purchase assets type of deal. Whatever those assets are. I think there's very few assets in Celsius. It's the crypto, it's the Bitcoin mining rigs. My understanding is it's almost 60,000 rigs, mining rigs in Texas. So you got crypto, you got the mining rigs, okay? You have the custody and earn accounts, and you have the loans. That's it. Now they claim that they have other assets, which is more likely cash and sell token, but that's really it. Those are it. And I believe that Ripple is interested in the customers, and the customers are made up of earned customers, custody customers, and loan customers. I don't know if Ripple would be interested in the mining rigs. It's Bitcoin mining rigs. So I don't know. Now, there's another interesting thing called the GK8, which is a custodian company. Apparently, this GK8 custodian company is, they're really good. So it's a good asset to have. Celsius owns that. I don't know. Ripple might be interested in that. I don't know. So if from the way I understand everything to work, the earn accounts is crypto, right? And so if it's crypto and it's earn accounts, and Celsius is claiming that those earn account holders don't own their crypto, Celsius owns it, and they're in the hole. They don't have the crypto. So if you got Matic on there, they don't have Matic. If you got Solana or Cardano, whatever, like they're in the hole. They don't have crypto. Their only assets are Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, a few stable coins, whatever the stable coin. They're in the hole $3 billion. I mean, I think it's 2.85 billion. So it's no crypto, right? So the whole earn thing, it's in the hole. The custody accounts, the lawyers from Celsius said that there was a one-to-one backing, blah, blah, blah. Fireblocks has that crypto, blah, 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 right? So that's what the lawyers from Celsius are saying. The judge is saying, okay, cool. If you're saying that one-to-one, and it's Fireblocks who has it. You know, we need to get these custody accounts their crypto back, because you're saying under oath that you got it. Okay, Fireblocks, 1-to-1, all that stuff. You're saying we need to get that back. We need to get those custody accounts. And they publish the account holders because the custody account people hired a law firm, you know, went into that bankruptcy hearing, made their case. The judge agreed 10,000%. Okay. They didn't, the custody account holders did not rely on the UCC to represent. And the judge agreed with them 10,000%. He basically told the law firm that's representing the custody account, this is what I would do, file this stay in this motion, and we need the judge, the Honorable Judge Glenn Martin said, we need to hurry this thing along and get these people in custody their crypto. Okay, so that's a matter of time deal. Earn account, big trouble, because Celsius just does not have the crypto. And they're spending any cash that they have. It's called the burn rate. They're spending that, paying their lawyers, and I think paying the UCC lawyers. I think the state may pay the UCC lawyers, but in any case, they're spending tens of millions of dollars on the employees and the law firm, like 35 million, and they don't have a lot. It's like only 170 to 180 million, and they're spending tens of millions every single month. So it's not looking great there for the earn account people. It's because it's just no money. So it's not looking great in terms of any kind of percentage because the hole is too big. So it doesn't look like a company is going to come in and try to make the earn account holders whole. Doesn't look like it, because again, it's a really, really big hole. Right. And so the other part about the custody thing is it's such a small amount of money that it's easier to kind of get that to those people. So so the earn account is not looking good. I don't know what Ripple is going to do in reference to that in terms of coming in, and there is an option called a secured creditor who can come in and loan Celsius, a ton of money. Ripple obviously is in a position to do that, come in and loan Celsius a ton of money. And obviously the collateral that they're going to want is probably going to be the mining rigs or the GK8, the custodial thing that does have value. But I don't know if Ripple will do that. I personally feel that because, again, the earn accounts is in a more precarious situation. The loan accounts, remember the loans, the collateral and loans, when the market is good, is great for Celsius Lending LLC. Right? When the market is good, it's not great for the earn account and Celsius. That's the problem. That's the problem, because Celsius don't have crypto. So they're going the fiat route. They don't have the crypto. So the greater the market becomes in terms of positive, it hurts Celsius. They become more in the hole. Well, with the loans, it's really the exact opposite. So the collateral and the loans, when the market does well, is really, really good for Celsius. So that makes that a very, very viable asset. And any business would look at that and say, oh, these are loans, and this is collateral and a loan. And everyone in crypto expects the market to recover at some time, right? So buying the loan, you don't have to put up crypto, you buying the loans, right? So it is significantly more advantageous for someone to come in and get the loans. In my opinion, current numbers on the loans is absolutely massive. Let someone else explain it to you probably a little bit better. Let me see if I can't find this. Let's go here. This is a guy and the loans Telegram group who is putting together something massive that I think is huge. It's a really, really smart guy. And there's two guys there. It's Joseph E. and it's David Little. It might be another guy. But let me have you listen to him here. Let me see if I can find it. Don't start all over. Let's go a minute 40. Okay, yeah, that's close enough. Take a listen to this. Should I share? I'll share it.
Unregistered security. Like, what are you guys doing to fix that? Because if you don't fix your main product, like, what business is there to talk about? So I'm glad he got to sort of the heart of that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's an important point. Yeah, let's go to questions.
And by the way, it's very important. Everything that the judge says, I think, is huge. One of the things the judge said is to say, hey, didn't this earn custody account just get started? Like it just got started, right? And right, so he said that, didn't this thing just really just got started, this earning account, this earning custody thing, right? Like, just in April. I mean, he says this. And then he asked for Celsius and a law firm to bring, provide all the terms of condition, terms of use from, basically from the beginning of Celsius Network. I think that was massive. The fact that he kept bringing up that earn and custody thing just got started, I also think is massive. But one of the things he kept saying was, well, what kind of business do you really have here? It's really just an unregistered securities business. This is the judge. This is the judge. And the unregistered securities business is the earns business.
Because you want to take advantage of your time.
Yeah, go for it. Celsius Loans.
Celsius L. Let's go to Celsius Loans.
Hey, I appreciate the time, Clancy. Hodler, as always, thanks for hosting the space. Thomas, appreciate it. Keith Suckno as well, and really look forward to hearing from David Adler. Yeah, I really appreciate everyone's points and feedback, and especially with what Keith said about these potential ad hoc committees are forming. And I think everyone in this group can agree the last thing anybody wants is for it to get very contentious of pitting one group against another and another group against another for exactly like we're talking about, this massive burn rate with documents showing that Celsius is going to be out of money by October of this year. And so as the legal front moves forward, I'm just thinking out loud.
And so another thing I want to point out before I forget, it has been recommended that people reach out to their state attorney general and file a complaint with the state attorney general. You can do that as an individual. You can hire a lawyer to write a letter for you. It doesn't cost much as well, but you can write to the your state attorney general, and you can file a complaint with the FBI if you want to as well. If you want to do that as well, and that claim will get submitted into the bankruptcy, right? So when I say into the bankruptcy, that the state attorney general obviously has a responsibility to honor that claim under the bankruptcy, is my understanding of that. So writing to your state attorney is another thing that you can do. Now the UCC, again, is supposed to, with a law firm, hiring a law firm and doing all this negotiating and objecting in court and all of that, is supposed to be representing every customer: loan customer, earn account customer, custody customer. But again, for me, the biggest challenge is there's no money There's no crypto there. So I just don't know where that's going to go. I just don't know where that's going to go. The regulators, the whole fraud and, misleading and unregistered securities and all of that, these regulators going to pick that up. And I don't know what's going to happen, but it doesn't look good, in my opinion, that someone's going to come in and fill the hole. Just it feels like the loans and the mining and that GKA custodial, people are going to come in and try to buy those assets. That's what it feels like. And there is a Celsius Lending LLC. So it's an entity that can be purchased. Like Celsius has like 4 or 5 LLCs in this whole Celsius thing. And lending is one of those. So again, I don't know, but I do feel like Ripple is going to go after the GKA custodial, maybe some software, customer. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do in terms of that customer list, but I do know there's 23,000 people who have loans with Celsius. 23,000. Anyway, take a listen to this guy.
Loud. We want everyone to be made whole. We want everyone to get taken care of. And I've just posted up in the nest from the day one Alex Mashensky filing. We know that Celsius Network, or maybe Celsius Lending LLC, holds in crypto collateral, a crypto value in a fiat denominated 765 million. And we know that those are across 23,000 retail loans. We don't know how many users that is total, but we know that the users.
So that's a big number, 765 million, 23,000 retail loans.
Users owe a USD fiat value of 411 million. So just thinking about down the road, right now.
So you see, a value of 700 million and what's owed is 411 million. So that's a net positive there that a business, the entity can look into, right? And so I think the latest word on the street, the whole loan thing has been completely frozen. See, loan is not going to get liquidated. It's not going to come up on a maturity date. You don't have to pay any interest, right? So just think about it from a financial business sense. What asset, if you were coming in, would you be looking to get? If you're Ripple, who is lending XRP, right? How are they lending XRP? They got to get some licenses. They got to be right. They got to be somewhere properly able to lend their XRP, whether that be a lending license. I don't know if it's a banking license or not. I have no idea. But a lending license, right? In order to lend this XRP that they've been lending, however it is that they're lending it, they have the licenses. And it's a net positive thing right now, right? 765 value, 411 owed, right? Because the model was 4 times the loan. You want a $10,000 loan, you got to put up 40,000 if you want to get the 1% loan. You got to put up $40,000. So that was a profitable, right? That's profitable business right there. That is a profitable, and that is the numbers currently publicly filed. So for me, that makes sense. I don't know how Ripple would operate it, run it, do what I don't know, but it makes sense. And the other thing that makes sense to me is the GK8 custodial business, and that's, because they can get proprietary, right? By the company, you can get proprietary knowledge and right, you can own all that stuff. And Celsius just overall just had some really, really, really smart, genius guys there in terms of CTOs as well. But I don't know how you buy that part of it. So, but anyway, continue to listen.
That is a on the Celsius network books, that is a $350 million valuation. And there's plenty of solvent lending platforms out there, whether it's Salt Lending with their CEO, Sean Owen, or Abra Global, their CEO, Bill Barnard. And I'm just thinking to stop the burn rate and to take care of users who have taken out Forex collateralized loans, who thought that they were under all the appropriate Celsius lending, under all the appropriate, banking licenses, lending licenses, state laws, etc. I'm just wondering is there some type of merger acquisition, some type of financial innovation where we can not only make those that hold loans, we can make them whole by paying off their loan, getting their collateral back, or transferring over to a solvent lending platform that want to buy out on their retail loan order book, and those profits going towards earned users. I'm just thinking out loud for.
And this is essentially, and I'll stop the sharing here. This is essentially what Nexo, obviously they're not going to offer a lot, but this is what Nexo was interested in, that loan part of the business. Now, Ripple is in a better situation, in my opinion. What's going on, Spanish Cobra? Good to see you. But that is what I believe. Again, the customers are broken up into categories: loan customers, custody customers, and earned customers. So Yadaman Dre says, I don't think Ripple wants BTC mining, right? Good, fair point. You could be wrong on that. Absolutely, I probably could. They want our flare. Who wants our flare? They really want to become a bank, and this would move them closer to becoming a bank. Great point. They want the whole thing to have this retail-facing arm. Yeah, so those are all really good points, right? The Mandre, those are all really, the Mandre, those are all really good points, right? And so what's going on, Marquise? Good to see you, bro. Those are all really, really good points. So again, $350 million valuation, right? On that loan part, on that loan business, on Celsius Lending LLC. So I don't know what Ripple, I know they want to enter the bankruptcy. I believe personally, the customers, that GK8 custody thing makes sense. And I think that Ripple, when you take this acquisition to the board, when you take that type of acquisition of Celsius Lending LLC to their board, what would you say if you were to your shareholders, what would you say if you were a shareholder? Would you be wanting to approve that $350 million valuation? I think so. And think about the business model: 4 times the collateral. That was it, so that you could get a 1% loan. It was an ingenious model that they were able to come up with, right? And make that work. Interest only payments. I mean, that part of the business worked really, really well for Celsius Network. It worked really, really well for Celsius. And so that's what I think Ripple is most interested in. I don't know if they want to come in and be the darling, right? I thought initially they would come in and be the darling because they got the money. Like, they have the money to come in and be the darling. They could come in and, get Celsius and just kind of get rid of things that aren't positive. They could. But again, Ripple got shareholders, and so shareholders going to have to buy off on something, right? They're going to have to buy off on something. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think that, again, that darling of crypto move, right? To come in and be the hero I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. My thought though is, Ripple is in the business is a profit business, and they want to be in profit. So I think the first step, or at least the thing high on their list, let's put it to you this way: high on their list, I believe, is that Celsius Lending LLC. That's what I think. Celsius Lending LLC, high on the list. You can't argue with the $300 million valuation. The numbers are there. Those are the numbers. And again, unlike the earn accounts, the loans, that loan business is absolutely amazing when the market is good. I mean, it's probably absolutely amazing when the market is not good either, right? Either way. But I think when the market is good, that crypto going up like that is going to be significant, and it's just different. And now this guy is suggesting with an acquisition, profits can be paid to the people in the earn accounts to be enabled to begin to get them their crypto. And that is very, very true. To begin to get them back their crypto is very, very, very true. It just makes sense. But so that's my take on it, guys. I really, really do think that's the thing that they're looking at. Let me see if there's more to share here.
For solutions, and the last thing I want this is to be able to get contentious. And the one other point I'll just make before I pass it over is, we talked about how if crypto rebounds and increases in value, we talk about the liabilities that also that whole also increases. But that's really the opposite with the retail loan order book, because Celsius Network holds users' crypto in their collateral in a crypto value. So if the crypto market rebounds, that is going to make that retail loan order book that much more valuable to Celsius and that much more enticing to be able to bid on from solvent lending platforms and create more of a profit that can be able to be distributed across earn users and others. Thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just makes perfectly good sense. And I think that's what, Ripple is definitely looking at for sure. So we'll see how it goes, guys. I hope that we're still early in this thing here, but the trustee is really, the UST, which is United States Trustee, is really pushing on Celsius. They're pushing to have an examiner come in and look at some stuff as well, independent examiner to really look into if there's, I'm just going to say, look into the shenanigans going on. It's called, at Celsius, they call it business development. In bankruptcy, there's this thing called business judgment with the debtor, which is Celsius Network. And that can be challenged or questioned, right? The business judgment of the company can be called into question and thoroughly investigated, and all these other different kind of things that can lead to ultimately just a liquidating or for sale, if you will, of assets, and just question the whole business judgment of Celsius Network. And so that's a really, really big concern. On a side note, people are doing the sell short squeeze, and they're trying to bring up the value of Celsius, the Cell token. There's a big time thing going on with one or two high net worth individuals who are trying to short the Cell token. They want that Cell token to go down to 1 penny, so that they can make their whatever it is that they would make off of that. And it would bankrupt, obviously, because a big value for Celsius is their Cell token, and it's being attacked right now. And the people in the community who are trying to stem off that attack and have done really, really well. But it's going to be a journey to try to make that happen. And so that's my 2 cents there, guys, on this whole Celsius, Ripple entering the Celsius bankruptcy. I believe it's that Celsius Lending LLC is promising. probably followed closely by the GK8 custody thing. I know there's PolySign out there, so that's another thing. But proprietary software, right? Getting access to proprietary software is always a good thing for a company that's looking to acquire other companies, right? They didn't have to come up with the ideas, but they can snatch it up fairly cheap. So in an merger and acquisition, you don't know how it would be written up. Maybe it's not as cheap as everyone would think, but it's still an acquisition. Obviously, Ripple would be in charge, have the majority share. And I think the Celsius Lending LLC, that entity, is up and it's ripe for the taking. And yeah, that's kind of where I stand. All right, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been a cool hang. Thank you so much for hopping on today. I know it's been a while, but it is definitely good to catch up. For sure. Thank you for hanging out for 16 Crypto. Appreciate you being here. You're the man. Spanish Cobra, thanks for hanging out today. Coach Alex, thanks for checking in. Alvin Pena, appreciate you, bro. Rodwell, Coach Alex, GDLT, my dude, appreciate you checking in today. Cookie Munch, great to hear from you. And Thunder Sound and RC Crypto Surfer and my guy Josh, I appreciate you checking in today. Kyle T. Moore, Danny Lowe, RC, Face Stamper, as always, I appreciate you. All right, guys, listen, I am going to end this video. Let me do this like I do all of my videos and remind you guys of this.
Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather that we remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it.